Hey everyone, how's it going today? Lamoura here, and welcome back to yet another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. We are here in Gridania. I know, this isn't where we left off last time, but it is fairly important, because I'm going to be doing one of these unlock quests that will be important for me, but something that I'm not really going to show you, but at the same time, I don't want you to get confused about. I know it's confusing, just saying that. But we're going to start a series of side quests in this episode so that by the time of either the middle of this episode, I can say like, okay, I did this thing, or by the end of it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do this thing that I won't show you. Anyways, the house that Death built. Nojiro Majiro has a glut of gossip that he has been dying to share with somebody. If you're poking around looking for work, you must be an adventurer too. I am right. Am I right? You won't find much here, I'm afraid. Seems the only thing people talk about these days is that nasty bit of business down near Isumhar. Surely you've heard of the stories. A strange portal suddenly appearing in the ruins down there. Hey, don't give me that look. I'm only telling you what I overheard from the whalers. They say on the other end is some sort of labyrinth. The thing is, every time they go down there, there's there to map out the place. Nothing is the same. A mystery, if I ever heard one. Frankly, I'm more than happy to let it stay a mystery. Strange apparitions, booby-trapped corridors, going down there is nothing short of suicide. Still, the prospect of treasure is awful tempting. Don't take my word for it, though. Head down to Isumhar, and you can hear it straight from the Chocobo's mouth. Okay. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to put a Wild Rose by any other name on hold for just a bit, and continue doing this. So we're going to fast travel over to Quarry Mill. Okay, so we're coming up to the area that we need to be in order to finish this quest, or do this quest. I don't know if it's actually quite finished after this, but we'll talk to this Wood Whaler expeditionary. I'm sorry, but I must insist that you... Oh, an adventure, and a rather seasoned-looking one besides. On the off chance you're not simply here to gup, perhaps you can lend us a hand. You see, despite the fervent protestations of the Dukes right over there, we cannot permit civilians within the ruins at this time. Capable men and women like you, on the other hand, are more than welcome. That is, if you've got the stones for it. Pray seek out the others stationed at Quarry Mill. They can appraise you of the details. Great. Bunch of back and forth bullshit. This is worth it, though. I guarantee it. Okay, here we are, back in Quarry Mill, and the place I need to be. Let's talk to this Wood Whaler. Well met, adventurer. I take that you have come to learn more of the recent happenings in Isumhar. The site is of interest owing to Galmorian ruins, Galmora being an underground city which predates Gridania, in case you were unaware. Any road, a few days past, we received reports from several anthropographers sure, that a magical gateway of some sort had appeared in the ruins, and that all manner of creatures were coming and going through it. My men and I were among the first to examine it, and, well, it's hard to explain. We crossed the thresholds into a set of corridors we'd never seen before, and then suddenly each and every one of us was filled with an inexplicable sense of dread. It was all I could do to take even a single step. According to Iona Kotor, who accompanied us, the ruins are warded with powerful magics that sap the spirit and aether of all who enter, rendering them easy prey for the creatures within. Thankfully, he managed to devise a solution, Aetherpool arms and armor, which safeguard and channels the wearer's energies that they might withstand the ruins' magics. Unfortunately, it does little to prevent us from losing our way, though it beggars belief. Every time we have dared to venture into the ruins, we have found the path to be changed. We suspect this, too, may be the work of unfathomably powerful magic, or an unfathomably powerful mage. Needless to say, something strange is afoot, and traditional tactics are not like to suffice. Even experienced adventurers will need to proceed with caution. In any event, if you believe you have what it takes to brave the ruins and discover what secrets lie at its deepest depths, you need but say the word. Okay, there we go. That is now complete. And essentially what we have now unlocked is what is called the Palace of the Dead. Essentially what it is, well, I guess the game will explain it. You have now access to the Palace of the Dead. You may enter solo in a party of up to 4 players. When speaking with the Woodwhaler Expeditionary Captain, you'll be given the option to enter with either a fixed party or a match party via the matching system. Players will start at level 1 regardless of their current class or job level. Furthermore, only Aetherpool arms and Aetherpool armor may be used when inside the Palace of the Dead. Each floor of the Palace of the Dead is randomly generated, including placement of enemies, treasure coffers, and traps. Further details can be had by speaking with the Woodwhaler's Expeditionary Captain. So essentially what's happening is we have a randomly generated dungeon with randomly generated enemies that you can go into and level your character outside of the main game. So essentially what happens when you enter, you are level 1. And you gain some expedited XP. So killing one enemy, you'll immediately go to like level 2, then level 3, level 4, level 5, and let's say you get up to level 7, right? You get to level 7, and you reach the end of the dungeon, which is floor 10. You reach the final boss, you defeat the floor 10 boss, and you exit the dungeon. Just because you were level 10 in the dungeon doesn't mean that you will be level 10 outside. You will gain some extra XP outside for whatever class, but you will not be level 10. That is completely separate leveling system inside the Palace of the Dead than it is outside. I know it's rather confusing, but I guess the best way to do it and explain it is just to go in. So let's enter the Palace of the Dead as, hold on, real quick, as a white mage. This is really why I wanted to unlock this. What's going to happen with the Palace of the Dead, at least with this character, whoops, no, with a match party, for this character, is I'm going to level, hopefully, my white mage to level 50, so that by the time we get to the end game, and we're about to switch over to my other character, we can do all of the white mage class quests, and you can get caught up with that. Because essentially we'll be switching over to a level 50 white mage, and you'll be sitting there like wondering like, okay, what's going on here? Who is this character? How did everything play out? When I get my future job class quests, you'll be wondering once again, like, how did we get here? Who are these people? And all that. So by the end of this series, by the time we finish a Realm Reborn main story quest, we'll probably have one extra episode where we do all of the white mage job quests in one episode, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, or whatever it may be. So just so you have an idea of what's going on. When the Palace of the Dead pops and we find all of our party members, I will come back for you. Okay, so it has now popped. We are full party and ready to go. Let us start in the Palace of the Dead. Now, one thing that you do need to be aware of, the Palace of the Dead does have its own independent story. Somewhere, somehow, I'm not quite sure what it is, because my party's going to go and rush out and do everything without me. So I'm not going to watch any of the cutscenes here. But it does establish there are some characters. I guess there are some things that, you can learn from this, but I'm not going to pay attention to that. I need to quickly just move my party list over here. Let's just... Yeah, there's fine. Let's put them up here. They're fine up there. Okay, and then I'll put this here. And let's move this one more time. Okay, cool. All right. So, yes, as you can see, we are currently level 1 as our character, and we are in an area that's completely different than anything else. Now, this guy just opened up a treasure coffer. Essentially what that has done now, and as soon as I get to a point where I can stop moving and be okay, what that has done is given us a Pomander of Safety. There are a bunch of Pomanders in this game, and essentially what a Pomander is a one-time use just for this dungeon run item, I guess you could call it. You can use them. They're an expendable resource. As you can see, we just leveled up twice in a matter of seconds, so this is how fast this thing goes. Essentially what a Pomander does is it grants you a different effect, and all of the Pomanders all stack right over here, as you can see. So the Pomander Safety removes all traps from the current floor. There are different ones like Pomanders that allow you to turn into a succubus, or reduce damage by 40%, or, a bunch of other stuff. I don't know if these guys want to go through the whole dungeon or not. Let's not. Yes or no? Okay, so these guys want to go through the whole dungeon. That's fine. So some parties just use this as leveling, so all they'll do is just run straight to the teleportation portal to the next floor and call it quits, while others will focus on different things. Oh, okay. I don't know if they're just trying to fight everything, but everything right now is so weak. So yeah, what they'll try to do essentially is kill everything in order to level up classes, which is perfectly okay. Cool. But the Palmanders are one-time use things. They're really functional and easy. I really hope this person activates okay. I don't know if they were waiting for the portal to start or what was happening, but if everyone's not in the portal, then we can't go to the next floor. Oh, their cat threw up. Oh. Yeah, man, I hope the cat's fine. Man, that's annoying. So yeah, they weren't just waiting. Some people really don't like doing Palace of the Dead, but they'll do it anyways, and they'll force all of the things on their teammates. This person just had a situation where, you know, life just throws something at you, and you gotta deal with it the best that you can. Poor guy. That does kind of suck. But yeah, Palace of the Dead is really cool. It's a neat feature that a lot of games, you know, that revolve around grinding or whatnot really should have. So that way you don't have to worry too much about like being underleveled, especially with alternate classes and whatnot. I think it's fun. I can understand where a lot of people might find it rather annoying as time goes on after you've been doing it for, you know, hours upon hours trying to level up that one class or whatever it may be, whatever your situation may come down to. But I like it. It's nice and relaxing. It's not something that I do for hours on end. It's just kind of something that I do when I'm bored. I want to Isuna these guys, but they're not in my range. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize the thing was over here. So yeah, I should be paying attention instead of, you know, talking about that. But this is essentially Palace of the Dead. We'll do a few floors here and there, and by the time we get to the boss, I'll show you that. We'll exit, and from there on, I'm pretty much just going to do Palace of the Dead on my White Mage until I pretty much get to level 50. That's the plan, at least. It may not come to complete fruition, just because, again, I might get tired of grinding after a little while. But within the 100 some odd episodes I'm assuming we'll be taking, I'll have time to grind every, you know, few hours or whatnot. But yeah, you can see we're already up to level 7. You can see how fast this goes. It's a lot of fun just being able to get your skills. One thing that I really do like about it as well is that if you want to try a class that you're not quite sure how it plays, if you like it, you know, tank, or you're afraid of healing or whatever it may be, and you're just like, you know, do I want to give this a try? But you don't want to put the investment of getting a character up to level 50. You can do that quickly. You can kind of get the basis of the class right here in Palace of the Dead and not worry too much about it in the overworld. You know, it's just a nice feature. I truly do enjoy it. Look at that, like 3 levels right off the bat. Like just busting through these things like nobody's business. So yeah, I pretty much have a lot of my skills already. I already put on some skills that I know I'll get in the future that I'm looking forward to, and I want to put on how I like them. But I don't really know what else to tell you. This is Palace of the Dead. I don't know what this music is, though. I ain't really ever hear it change too much. Usually Palace of the Dead only has like one tune to it. But I guess it's part of the randomness of it. The Red Dragoon just like doesn't care. Oh, of course, trap's triggered. We gotta take care of all these guys, unfortunately. So in order to go to further floors, you do need to kill everything in the area, and if you don't, then the portal to the next floor will not open. So that is the one thing about Palace of the Dead. There are traps around here that you have to be careful of. They can turn into mimics for random chests. They can just activate randomly throughout the floor. There are Palmanders that will grant you sight into some of the traps. Hold on, I need to focus on this. Okay, the dude's doing alright. I'll give him a little health there. Unfortunately, he was fighting everything alone because we got stuck with the traps. So yeah, there's a whole ecosystem of things that you can do in this area, you know. And one of the things about this is Palace of the Dead, at least. Alright, so there's another cutscene that we'll skip. With Palace of the Dead, you don't have to have a random, a normal party, like a healer, 2 damage dealers, and a tank. We're just lucky that that's what we happen to have for this Palace of the Dead run. But, yeah, I'm gonna go with this guy. Well, I guess we'll split up 2 and 2. You can have all 4 damage dealers, or all 4 tanks, or all 4 healers, or something of that nature. It's completely random who and what you'll get. So it can be fun to kind of like test, sorry that I pulled that from the tank, to test different team comps and stuff like that, and see like how they turn out. You know, just having straight damage all day, every day, I don't know, it can be fun. I'm gonna go see if these guys need help. It looks like that tank is, where is it? The tank didn't, oh, he must have activated a trap. Interesting. Alright, so these guys look like they're doing okay. They finished everything that's over there, so that's fine. We'll run back over with them, just in case a trap does activate on top of them. And we'll go as a party. Easy peasy. So yeah, this is pretty much what we're doing. What did I get? HP penalty? Oh, that started in the beginning. What's this guy got? He's got a bunch of stuff on him. Damage up. It must be random buffs that he gets that I haven't seen before. Alright, so we have like a Pomander of Intuition, reveals different things like traps, and I think that's the floor one or something. I'm not quite sure. But you can use them. They'll disappear after level 10 or floor 10. So pretty much if you don't use them, they're going to waste. Some people like to designate who uses them. Some people just like to use them when needed. These are random people, so it's not like this is a huge like trouble. You know, I'm not destroying anyone's run by using certain Pomanders whenever I feel fit. Like if we wanted to use the Affluence for, I think that's for the next floor, there's no problem with doing that. Let's just see, Affluence for treasure coffers on the next floor. So yeah, we can increase the amount of things that we get on next floor. Those could be increases to our ethereal arms or armor, or they could just be random Pomanders. But essentially, one thing I didn't mention is that our armor and our arms level up independently from everything else. So you see how like we have a glowy weapon right now? If you level up your armor and your arm to, you know, your Aether arm up to level, I think it's 60 in here, by finding different buffs, you can actually then take those buffs outside of the game, and you can take that buff outside of the game and actually get this glowing weapon outside of the Palace of the Dead, which is really cool. So you can get like a really powerful armor or arm just by doing Palace of the Dead runs. Alright, so when we get to this floor, because we're getting close to the end, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to pop one of the Pomanders. It doesn't really matter. Someone else did as well for hidden treasure, which is cool. So there's a treasure coffer near somebody. There's a Call of the Accursed Horde that we're seeing, so we just got that. Our Aether arm just went up by 2 because we found the Accursed Horde, which is just the level up for the Aethereal weapons and armor. So there's a whole like ecosystem thing of things that you need to learn in this area. I don't know. It looks like Dragoon wants to continue doing this, which is fine. Leveling up classes and whatnot. Let's target the same people as all our teammates. All right, so the tank was pulling. Whoops. Come on, click on the right guy. All right, that's cool. Got the treasure coffer there. Everything's good. We have another Yarzan over here. Man, but I really do hope that I just explained everything appropriately. I think that's pretty much all we need to know about Palace of the Dead. The floors do go up pretty high, I think like past hundreds, but in order to get there, you need to have a fixed party. I think after floor 50, everything just becomes way too hard for you to manage on your own. So if you don't have a fixed party, you're pretty much stuck repeating floor 1 through 50 over and over and over again, which is okay. You can reset your progress at any given point, so if you reach floor 50, that doesn't mean that you're at the end. You can just go and talk to that one guy and it resets back to level 1, so you can keep on grinding away up to level 50 again, and reset it, and then up to level 50 again. You get the idea. So yeah, we're already up to level 18, where we were out in the regular world, which is really cool. Our Aetheral Arm just went up to +3. I don't know what happened to our tank, if he's lagging or what. Must real life situation or something. You know, sometimes your cat just throws up or something, you know? Alright, I want to give him a heal. Okay, our strength just went up to 4. Awesome. But then you always want to pick those up. It looks like there's another one as well. Dude, we're just going to be leveling up and getting our Aetheral Arms up like crazy here. Which is awesome. Looks like our teammates explored the other area, and... Ooh, that was a trap. There was a trap sitting on that Aetheral Accursed Horde. Which happens. Oh, there was a Phoenix down in there. Interesting. You could put the Phoenix down. You can only carry one at a time, but you can put the Phoenix down essentially on your hotbar, and you can revive yourself or somebody. I don't know. I've never been able to use a Phoenix down before, so I'm not quite sure exactly how they're used. Okay. Let's see. Treasure coffer? Nah. We're on floor 9. Alright, so they're using a treasure coffer. I'm going to use one as well, because we only have one more floor, which happens to be the boss floor for the next one, so why not use the ones that we have already. The treasure, the Palmanders become more important as the floors get higher and the difficulty of the enemies increases, and you're not gaining levels as often, or your Aetheral Arms aren't as, how do you say, leveled correctly. Because finding the Accursed Horde is completely random. You can find them, you cannot. It's completely just random. So if you're finding that you don't have your armor in the right way, or your Aetheral Arm in the right spot that you like, you can use the Palmanders to help you along with everything. All right, so our other guy, our monk, is it, or is it the? Nope, it's the Marauder. I don't know what that class actually is. I think it's the Marauder. Went the opposite direction, cleared out this way, so that when we killed all the enemies, he could be waiting, which is really cool. Sometimes people do that. They split up, go 2 different ways so that you can clear it faster. What? Ah, this beetle. Like an asshole. Okay. Alright, so next floor we will have the boss. Some people turn into the succubus once this happens, just to get it, you know, done faster. Just burn the boss like how it should be. Some people don't. Usually the first bosses are relatively easy. Yeah, I think someone's gonna do it. Damage up and whatnot. Okay, cool. Oh, I guess one thing we could mention here is that we actually get a special item, I guess you could call it, for doing Palace of the Dead. Again, completely random, so you never know when or if you're going to get them. But essentially, is this a dragoon wearing a mage hat? Interesting. So yeah, you get these weird cursed horde pieces. You can turn them in outside for a random piece of loot of some sort. I don't know. I guess they kind of mean nothing. Some of them can give you good things, but I haven't gotten anything really that good from them, to be honest with you. Okay, so I am now outside of Palace of the Dead, and the cool thing is I am now a level 19 White Mage, where I was only level 18 before. So just by doing the first 10 levels, I was able to gain a level and a half, essentially, through Palace of the Dead, which is really nice. Now, if you remember, I did say that you get a special type of item that you can turn in out of Palace of the Dead. If you go over to this bishop, you have ventured into the ruins, yes. Have you happened upon any particular bags shut tight by the magics of the palace? If you know of the value of these treasures, bring them to me, and I shall break the seal that binds them closed. So if we appraise the piece of the Accursed Horde, which is these little bag things here, I have one of them currently. It's a bronze. I don't know if there's like silver and gold or platinum or anything, but this is going to be just like a base level random item that we can get. So let's just see what we get out of this. So we got a Gridanian Sparkler. It's essentially a nothing. It's like a party popper. So if we were to use that. Look at that. Oh, it's a sparkler. I'm sorry. So I got a green sparkler. Yay. You know, so you can get random shitty stuff from this, but you can also get kind of cool stuff as well. I'll put the Phoenix down here, because why not? Just in case we ever go down, and it might as well have it, you know. but you can only carry one in your inventory at any given point. So there's that. But yeah, guys, that's essentially it. That's Palace of the Dead. That's all I wanted to show you. Nothing really important as far as that goes. I'm gonna just be doing this whenever I don't feel like recording, but I still feel like playing Final Fantasy XIV Online. We'll just be leveling up our White Mage. Cool? Cool. I will see you guys later. I know this was a short episode, but thank you so much for joining me. Peace out, and much love to you.